Hi everybody. Happy Monday. I hope you guys are all doing well. So this video is just a little introduction to our final research project. Um, and I just wanted to show you where all of the resources are and then give you an idea of what I'm hoping you'll be able to do for or before class on Wednesday. So if you go to our website, this is the fourth hour website, but the second hour website looks basically the same. The post that you'll see for today is called Final Project Resources and Information. And this is probably one that you're going to want to be coming back to relatively frequently because all of the important information that you need is here. So if you look at it, it kind of gives you a rundown of the things that you're going to be doing today. So the first thing you're going to do is watch this video. Good thing you're doing that right now. The second thing that I would like you guys to do is read through the timeline for this project and the ideas for the project. The timeline, I'll show you. I'm just going to click on it so you can see it. So the timeline looks like this. It kind of like walks you through each day, what we'll be doing during class that day, and then what your homework will be for the following day, sort of to keep you on track. And then there's some due dates in there. And this is a document that should basically stay the way it is. I may like make some minor adjustments to it as we go. But for the most part, my hope is that this timeline will remain like this throughout the project. So if we go back, I've also, in the calendar function of your website, you should be able to see all of those due dates on there now. So you can see that your first project assignment is due on Wednesday. It's just for you to pick partners or a group of 3 and complete the Google form, which I'll show you in a second. Thinking about independent variables. And then you'll see that the rest of the assignments are also there. So if we go ahead to May, there they are. And you'll see that those dates in the calendar correspond to that timeline I was just showing you. So the second thing that's here is another Google document that all of the chemistry teachers have put together collaboratively of a whole bunch of different project ideas for you guys to look at. So on the left is the topic, and there's a big long list of them. There's like 27 possible topics. And then as you scroll to the right, oops, too far. The second column says the level of the project. And so we did this partly because some of these projects are more challenging than others. And we just want you to be aware going into it, sort of how big of a challenge these are going to be. So the projects that are numbered 1s are relatively straightforward. And then the projects that are numbered 4 would be the most challenging. That said, there will be points in the sort of final grading rubric associated with the degree of difficulty of the project. So if you remember back to the last formal lab that we did, if you think about that rubric that we used, and I'll share that again, I'll post that on the website. Every section of the lab report was worth 4 points. And so one additional section this time will be the degree of difficulty of your project. Now, that said, if you choose a project that's a 1, so if you choose glue slime or silly putty or using silk ties to dye eggs, and you're really excited about that project, you may be able to make it a level 2 or 3 project. You're just going to have to be more creative about like raising that level to a greater degree of difficulty if you'd like to earn more points for a more difficult project. So before you can go any further with this, you and your group need to sit down via Skype or FaceTime or Google Hangouts, whatever you're going to do, and go through this list of projects and really think about what sounds interesting to you. What would you like to do? What do you think would be fun? And then there's this list of just topics. And then again, over to the right are a bunch of resources. So a lot of these are links to websites that give you some information about the project. Maybe there's a procedure there. For some of them, there's a very detailed procedure. For some, it's a very sketched out idea of what you might have to do. Some of them are YouTube videos about somebody else doing this project. So it just kind of depends on what you're interested in, but you really should spend a good amount of time with your group thinking about what kind of project you could do. And also, in addition to that, what supplies do you have at home? This is something that you're going to be doing in your house, and everybody in your group needs to be able to participate in this project. So if there's something that you don't have, could you easily get it from the store? Could you order it? So those are just things to be thinking about as you start to think about what kind of a project you'd like to be doing. So that's this document. So if we go back to this post for today, so the first thing you're going to do is watch this video, then you're going to read through the timeline and look at all of those project ideas with your group. You're going to explore some of those links to the projects you think are interesting. So this is going to be a little bit of a time-consuming task, trying to figure out what project are you guys curious about and what do you want to do. And once you've decided which project you'd like to try to tackle, you are going to submit a Google form, which is also linked here, that looks like this. And you are going to put your name and the people in your group. So I only want one of these forms to be filled out per group. So if I was working with Dr. Trussell and Miss Mixon, I would write Miss Turner, Dr. Trussell, and Miss Mixon. Those are the people in my group. My first choice topic, whatever your first choice topic would be. And then this is where, again, you're going to have to do a little thinking with your group, because you want to think about what would your independent variable be, the variable you're choosing to manipulate, and then what would your dependent variable be, the variable that you're going to be measuring. And so that would be for your first topic. The second piece of this is that every group needs to have a unique topic. So if too many people choose the same one with the same variables, we might need to have you have a backup. So you need to also have a second choice with, again, an independent and a dependent variable. Okay, so those are all things that you need to have looked at, and that form needs to be completed and submitted before class on Wednesday. The other thing that you should just know is here is the inquiry planning sheet, which kind of walks you through like brainstorming how to get your experiment set up. So thinking about what's your independent variable, what's your dependent variable, how are you going to measure your dependent variable? That's going to be a really important part of your kind of thinking with your group, because you're at home. It's going to really depend on what you have available to you at your house. So that inquiry planning sheet will get you thinking about what are your conditions going to be of your independent variable, what is your control going to be, and then how are you going to measure your dependent variable. So that's the inquiry planning sheet, and that will be due a week from today, next Monday. So all of this is here. Just as a reminder, in the calendar, all of the due dates for things are posted. On Wednesday, we will talk again as a group. So after you've had a chance to look at all of this stuff and read through it all, we will meet in a Google Hangout on Wednesday so I can answer any questions that you have, and get you thinking about next steps for your project. In the meantime, if you have questions between now and Wednesday, please, please, please reach out. Let me know. I'm happy to talk to you about questions that you have. If you're not sure about any part of this project, please let me know. We've tried to set it up in a way where you won't be doing like a huge chunk of work in the last week of school, as long as you're following along and meeting deadlines along the way. So this is sort of the intro to the project, but please let me know if you have any questions at all, and I will see you all in the Google Hangout on Wednesday. So have a great Monday, and I hope you guys are excited.